to get cold chills again and something's in that doorway.
Come on, can you make a noise for us?
Oh my God.
Wow. That was
She said, can you hear that? He's taking a picture.
She said that?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. I can see them. I hope you can see us.
We want to see you.
Can you manifest? Which way should we be filming to catch you in the camera?
Dude, you're getting one sentences too later.
Tell me. In the tub! Hurry up, in the tub, Michael!
My hair's just standing up.
I know, dude, he's all around me right here. Stay away. Stay away.
That was pretty fucked up voice.
Dude,
Sorry.
That was. That just gave me something standing up. All right, guys. How are you? Camera malfunction, so we starting over. Sorry.
It didn't malfunction, so to speak.
So to speak, we think that our buddies in our house are messing with it, of course. Yeah. They're all happy for us, but
okay.
We're going to touch on a few topics today, and one of them is...
Give me a sign of your presence. Show me a sign that you're here. Can you make a knock?
Everybody says it on investigations.
A lot of us have done that in the past and still do.
So, you know, and we're just happy too because we just got off a call with, you know, with the production company that we've worked with in the past.
Yeah.
And they're finally getting back into the groove of doing shows and stuff like that. And, you know, we've known now for a week that they wanted to call us and start setting up something so we could start filming again. And so we had a call today for, supposed to be like a 40-minute call with the production assistant and producer, and
it was a Zoom, so we could see her,
right,
and she could see us,
etc. So right before the call was supposed to end, she was so intrigued with our backgrounds and talking to us, and she goes, the Zoom call is going to end in 2 minutes, but use the same link and password and get back on there because I need to keep talking to you guys. Like that. And we were like, okay, cool, right? Cool.
However, as soon as she said that, I thought to myself, and I'm sure I was reading what he was saying too, we're both thinking, no, it would be really great if this call just continued, because it would, once your energy line is kind of broken, you can hop back on, but wouldn't it be cool if this just continued, right?
Right.
So seconds later, I heard something, and I said, we're still on the call, and I say to him, I said, did you hear that? And he said, what?
I said I heard a click or something.
He heard a click.
Right.
That's not what I heard.
Mm-mm.
I heard a voice that sounded like him come from the hallway say, continue. And not only did the call keep going, it went on
for over an hour.
It never stopped, and she was just totally blown away.
She was like, wow.
How did this happen? So we start laughing together, and we go, at the same exact time, same words, how do you think this happened? Would the call continue?
She was like, I know, right?
So yeah. There you go. That's proof in the pudding right there that some people have a connection into something that is unexplainable.
Yep.
It just,
yep.
How did that happen? I mean, it was crazy.
Exactly. So, you know, And the thing is, we want to touch on the energy side of, you know, when you're investigating and you're asking for that sign. You know, if you've gotten some activity or you've heard people gotten some activity from this location or whatever it may be, and you're trying to get that activity.
Yeah.
I you know, she brought up too about, you know, when you do these big investigations. Now we stopped going on these big investigations. We get invited all the time. I get emailed all the time. Can you, madam, come up here? Can you, we got an event going on. There's like 30 people. No, we don't do those anymore. If you got a booth and you want us to come up, that's fine. We'll stop by and say hi, but we're not doing 30 people investigations, 20 people investigations anymore. Because over the years, I've found out that sometimes the energy from all these people is so chaotic.
It is.
That think about it, if you're a spirit and you got energy over there for a minimal amount of time and you need to use it, and boom, you got so much energy going on with the humans that they didn't even hear you knock on that counter over there, because this is your energy that's expelled. Now we don't know what goes on over there, but we can assume that this is what happens. So we've cut it down to where when we came up for Halloween, we did a mansion up there, an event. It was only 8 guests and me and her. We had 10 guests. That's it. And it was such a big mansion, we didn't hear each other in different rooms and stuff like that. And that's what you want. And the energy was great. We called an entity on the FLIR. It was just awesome. The investigation was awesome. Now I'm still working on that because we're doing all this other stuff, but I'll release that soon in the next couple weeks. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. How about you?
I agree. Well, I think that, you know, when you're working in research and you're working in the investigation part of, you know, the paranormal, which is actually supernatural, completely natural activity.
Yep.
It's better to have a lot less people, because I feel like I said, it's you're trying to see to the bottom of a stormy ocean, and those waves and storms and ripples are all your 30-40 people, and you can't dive down past that top layer with too many people, but you know, battling on the waterfront there. So the less boats there, or the less people on the surface, the better, because you get, I think you get a better. I mean, let me just say, I'm not knocking the big investigations, because sometimes you can get a really hot spot.
It depends.
And you can have something really awesome happen. But for me and you, I think personally, we can say that most of the really cool responses that we've gotten have been with like less than 5.
Yep, 5, 6 people max.
8 to 10. 10 is probably my limit at this point.
You know, that's what we said when we came up there. We didn't want to have too many people join in on this investigation, and we did, and we kept to it, and this is what we did. And we got some good activity at this mansion up in PA, and you know, and you learn through the years that less is better. I mean, it just really is. Less is better when it comes to research like that, because think about it. Those of you that are already doing research and you're in that asylum by yourself and you're in that basement and nobody's around, you got a group of 5 or 6 of you and they're way on the other side of the asylum and you're standing in the dark and you hear footsteps. Well, how can somebody be walking in the dark with no flashlight? Why? Because they're a spirit. So right away your mind goes crazy, like what in the hell is going on? Well, it's not one of your friends, it's not one of your teammates.
Right.
It's definitely a spirit. And then you hear him push a wheelchair, because this happened to me and my partner Dennis. This happened to me and him. We were in the basement just being quiet. And it scared the crap out of us. So that's what you got to remember. Remember what you asked for. Because that's what we did when we got into that room. We said, can you show us a sign? And then we said, we're just going to be quiet. And man, was it crazy. So yeah, you know, it happens. And does everybody get scared when it happens? Yeah, because sometimes it's a loud bang, a bang next to you. Who knows, you know?
Yeah.
But it's the thing is, remember what I said, watch out what you wish for. And that's, can you show me a sign? Yeah, so.
Yeah, well, that's opening, like I like to say, your consciousness, okay? Your consciousness, which we believe is part of our experience.
Yep.
You have your house of consciousness, all right? And then you have a fence around that house. And honestly, the way I think of it is a spirit or ghost, apparition, energy. When you're in an investigation, you're asking them to come into your front yard of your house. You're asking them to come in. But you can get even closer. You could ask like the people who say, you know, use my body, come into my. Okay, now you're asking them to come into your house, which is coming in the front door. That's not good. That's all I'm going to say about that. But the whole give me a sign, show me a sign of your presence, those are really common ways, I think, to get the ball rolling with the energy that you are testing with at that point. You're testing with it because you want to know what that energy can do, you know, past what the stories have been. That's why when we go to locations, what's the first thing we do if there's a story behind it?
We don't even talk about the story.
Nope. We sometimes with history, we'll mention the history, but
that's it. History.
For anything that has
anything
to do
that
with,
somebody, 'cause a lot of times,
oh my gosh.
Guys, when you research stuff, you know, rumored.
Yeah.
Rumor will get you in trouble because you're implanting things in people's heads. I mean, especially if you have a group of 8 or 9 of you, and the place is massive, and you, Jody, so supposedly Jody was hung over there. It's like you just implanted something in somebody's head, and what are they going to do an hour from now? I heard something swinging like.
Well, it's suggestion.
Right. It's very suggestive.
It's projected.
Right.
Suggestion.
Well, I just recommend what we do now is a lot of people when we go out and we talk to a homeowner or a business owner or whatever, and they say, yeah, you guys want to come in and see if you catch anything because things have been happening. We go, don't tell us anything.
You know, and if they already
just the history, but just don't tell us anything.
If they have already told us the story, though, our job then is is to create a clean slate in our head, so that we can say, because honestly, this is the truth. The truth of it is, at any location, anywhere in the world, no matter what the story, backstory has been on it, anything can come in that has nothing to do with that story.
Exactly.
So because of the people who were there,
and just remember,
history.
100 years ago, the place is still around. You don't know what took place, and neither does that owner. You know, you can dig it up all you want, but you'll never find out what really took place in that old Stagecoach hotel. But it's now just a regular old B&B or something. You have no clue what took place because you weren't back then, and a lot of times documents aren't right. I mean,
but with the phenomenon itself, the paranormal research in the 21st century, people are still looking for an outlet. And the reason that people are still looking for an outlet is because they don't want the truth of how messed up this world actually is. That's the truth of it. They want an outlet to explore.
It's an outlet to explore and research.
An outlet to
get out of the house.
An outlet to also blame. This is what's going on. Oh, no, it has to be that. You know, there's a lot of things that the paranormal doesn't do for people and does do for people. So it's still a big research field, and it's really it's still very popular, although COVID, I think, has put a damper on a lot of event stuff.
Yep.
But, you know.
And, you know, not every place is haunted either, or has activity. Remember that. I mean, that's why we go back to the clean slate thing, because, you know, you can go in and nothing happened to you on an investigation, but the next team that comes in,
they had a whole bunch of stuff happen, right?
Did they bring it with them? You'll never know. You just don't know.
Why don't you ask me that?
Did they bring it with them?
The human brain has the power to create many things. Never forget that. Never forget it.
Right.
Never forget it.
So, and you know, and that's,
you can ping pong off of one another and make things occur.
Right. So that's the thing, is you want to make sure that, you know, when you start off with your clean slate, like we said, it's okay to have the history. Everybody wants the history of the place. You know, hey, we went and did this mansion, the history of the place is blah, blah, founded it, he built it from the ground up, his wife died. That's just history. We know his wife died. We know his children died of whatever, the plague or whatever, 110 years ago. We know that. But we're not going to stick it in our minds that that's who's here, because you don't know.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
All right. So when you go into a ghost hunt, I hate that term.
No,
I like to say paranormal investigation, but for
that's
those
what you
who
should say.
No, but some people know it as a ghost hunt. That's what they know. I want to ask you, do you think it's better at this point in your life, at your age or my age, to walk into one without saying, give me a sign, and just go in with your equipment and not talk out loud to something? If
you watch some of our paranormal stuff that when it was on Amazon, and then you watch it now, this is what I'm getting to.
Okay.
You will watch it and go, JB didn't show me a sign or a presence at least 30 minutes into the investigation, because we weren't getting hardly anything or nothing at all. So eventually you've got to ask for that.
But do you think there's a way possibly that people who are gifted in any way, intuitively, can create an outcome?
I think you can. I think everybody can. I think
So do I. I think 100%.
Put these minds together,
100%.
you know, and you're so
Yes.
connected.
Yes.
Can you create it? Yeah, I
Yes.
think you can create
Yeah.
anything that goes on, and you and in your mind it's going to be paranormal, but I think you created it.
Well,
So-
anything that you can't explain, I think, turns out to be like
Right, but I
you
mean,
know.
like you're in a paranormal location. You think
Yeah.
it's coming from the location, and it's
Yeah.
you the whole time. So that's all, and that's what
Okay.
you got to remember. You know, the outcome is what you make of it,
Mhm.
and I think the strong boundaries inside your mind is what releases some things too. But as far as the activity in the location, you know, we just try to keep it clean. You know, we heard rumors or whatever, we try to wipe it out a little bit because we don't want to go in there thinking, let's see if Ethel is still here. Well, we don't really want to do that because we could end up with Alice, not Ethel. And Alice don't even know an Ethel, and Alice was just stopping by because she's seen the white noise on. So you see where I'm going with this? So that's why we try to keep the slate clean when we go into a location.
I would say a good example would be when we went to, I'm not going to name it, but one of those big asylums that we went to. And there was a story in there that blah, blah, blah was there, blah, blah, blah was there. And anyway,
Oh, yeah.
you know how I am. So we get to the hotel, and that night I had a dream before we did any investigating. And in the dream, there was an entity that was manifesting in the bathroom in the bathtub. And it communicated with me, and I woke up and told you the dream, okay? We get to the asylum, and lo and behold, the person that 150 people had said, blah, blah, blah's here, never appeared. It was
Never
something
appeared.
much, much more intimidating.
Yep.
And much more evil and terrifying.
Well, what's the funny
my
part
God.
was we were asking for this name, and an entity came through and goes, "Who the hell is that?"
No. I'll tell you. So my memory is so good. It was close to that, but I would tell you, okay, this is what happened. We did an experiment during that investigation to test the theory of all the stories that had been happening for 10 past years.
Yeah.
With this,
we're talking.
with this name.
When did we do? That was like
It was a while
2012
ago.
or something.
With this name, because
like 9 years ago. Go ahead.
Citizen! So, during the experiment, we asked for that name as a like to rouse it. And guess what happened? The voice came over the spirit box and said, "Fuck, blah, blah."
Yeah, that's what it was.
Flat out. There was never any evidence of that rumored, no.
Individual. That's what we're
This
getting
thing
at,
was
you
so
know?
terrifying. What did it say? It said, "Stay away."
Yep.
And there were all kinds of other shit that would freak you out, and you probably would never ever go back on that investigation ever again.
Then we did a house, and I remember asking on
That's
the
why
spirit
clean
box.
slate is important.
Well, we went to this house because
We fight.
this person kept on saying, "This is in the basement. That's in the basement. A little boy was killed in the basement." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, on and on.
Oh my
On
God!
and on.
So we get into the basement and we're talking to an entity in the basement, and we said, "Do you know if anyone was killed in this basement?" And he flat out said, "No. No one was killed in this basement." I mean,
but when
it's
you okay, do you or do you not believe what a spirit, a purported spirit, is telling you? Okay, do you or do you not take that as concrete evidence, or do you still, like I do, say that could still be a form
right? Well,
of creation?
you didn't let me get to that. You didn't let me get to that part. I was going to say that do you as the researcher take that as
Concrete.
written in stone? I don't,
No.
because how do I know they're not in a different realm from where this person might have been killed? We don't know that. So would he ever connect up? No, they wouldn't. Because who are you talking to or getting signs from is the question.
I think that if it comes to something like that, you yourself could actually create the answer, because you don't want to hear that a child was murdered.
Exactly.
Like, there's so many little things that could happen with your brain that is producing energy that comes out over
Constantly.
many different platforms. That I guess give me a sign of your presence. It's just an opening.
It's just an
opening
statement.
Of the theater of research for paranormal, and that's what it is.
Yep.
It's kind of like the people who want to know for sure, like, what happens. What is going to happen to that response? What is going to happen to, will somebody else hear that response 5 years from now?
Yep.
Will somebody else in that same building hear what we were saying? Will it still be replaying there?
Yeah,
You know what I
residual
mean?
or whatever. You know, we don't know.
So
That's the thing.
I don't know. Have fun with your investigations and keep a clean slate with your head and you know
And
go
you'll
from
do
there.
well. I mean,
Keep a clean
got
slate
any
though.
questions? Add it to the comments. You want to hit us up, email, whatever it may be. Just let us know. But you know, once again, everybody stay safe.
Yes,
Don't go into any
please.
place that says no trespassing.
Yes.
Just stay away from that stuff, man. You don't want to get yourself in trouble.
Comment below if you guys have used the give me a sign of your presence and if you
Yep.
had anything happen to you with that and or if it was just a quiet, you know, crickets.
Yeah.
But please let us know if you had anything.
Yeah, because paranormal
happen.
research is just
That's
evolving.
what it is.
Evolving to the point where I think eventually we're going to actually see the other parallel, the universe, or actual spirit. I don't know, but I think that's what it's evolving to, where these scientists keep on trying to develop things because we know something's out there. Right? All right.
I think before we become that how do you say it?
Technology.
Technical? Before we become that
Technical.
that we will collapse.
Maybe.
Because there can never be an answer to what happens after death, ever.
Yeah, because
That
they
is a
don't want you
mystery.
knowing it. So.
That is a mystery, and you
Yeah.
may not have the answers to that, just like you may not have the time of your death. May not.
Nope.
It is a law. It's
Remember,
a
folks,
law, so.
one thing I always said,
Right.
there's one way to come into this world, but millions of ways to go out.
There are no. Oh my goodness, that's a great topic for our next
That one, and then we might even touch on haunted items in our next topic also. So
That sounds good.
we have quite a few
Yeah,
of
we
those
have
that
a
we
couple
kept
of
over
those.
the years from her shops and stuff.
Yes.
That are still in storage that'll scare the shit out of you. So
A little bit.
a little bit, but yeah, we can touch on that next time. You know,
Yeah.
but we want you to be safe.
Be safe.
Make sure you wash your hands and wipe everything down all the time in this day and age. And if you get the COVID, take the concoction. That's it.
You should do a video on your personal strength method to keep COVID at
My
bay.
COVID method, I'm going to do a video on it. If you
I
want me
was
to do a
just
video
joking.
on it, I will.
was
And I'll put
joking.
out everything that I took because we both caught it.
No, we didn't.
And I used my concoction.
No.
And it's,
He never. He had like something for 12 hours and then blasted right through it with his little Marine Corps things.
yep. And the VA
Not
doctor
me,
said
I
that
was
you
sick.
probably had it. She
Yeah.
had COVID.
I had it. Yeah.
But the doctor from the VA said that you have to catch the actual test within 3 days or something. It was like 4 days.
Wow.
And the doctor said, well, it doesn't mean you didn't have it because I still felt sick for like a day and a half. But
They didn't want no part of you, fool.
they said, man, you is badass.
They didn't want no part of you.
Those little COVID little things that came in and the Marines inside my body were
Something happened. So
Yep,
maybe
so-
you should do a video on all your tinctures that you take.
I will do a video
Your
on
vitamins.
what I take.
Did I say tinctures right?
I don't know what you were
Your
talking
vitamins.
about. My vitamins. You
He
know,
takes like a
over in
whole-
England they say vitamin.
He takes a bucket of them every
And
day.
I've taken them for over 10 years, and you know what? My immune system is, knock on wood, top notch.
That's superstition. We should do a video about superstitions.
Superstition too.
Oh, I have a ton of
Oh my
superstitions.
God, you do. Oh my God, she does. Well, we
My
gotta get out of here,
God.
folks.
That's my next video.
Superstitions.
Our next video.
We're gonna do superstitions
I
next.
took over his channel that quick.
She just took this shit right over.
Because look what you just did. You knocked over.
Superstitions.
Okay.
All right, we're out,
All right.
folks.
See you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Yep. Take care.